soundless night entombed the Roman countryside, shattered by a blood-curdling cry. Shadows, now given life of their own, turned on those that cast them, hacking and stabbing Hell's minions. At their command, a frost giant, whose massive form withstood Athena's spear as a hornet's sting. Snatching her like a doll, he crushed her in a massive fist. Clawing at the dirt, the killer shadows were swallowed by a black vortex. From nothing, Nox took shape and cast the shadows forth like a swarm, devouring the frost giant. Before melting back into darkness, Nox whispered a warning. Asgard had fallen. Olympus was next. An unnatural night was coming. Her soldiers made the choice. Athena turned the army toward Greece.
Welcome one, welcome all to another Patch Notes show. That was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nox came in and just
Was that Ymir? The Frost Giant? Or was it
I mean, it's just one of the Frost Giants.
yeah,
There's a lot of them.
It wasn't. I mean, Ymir doesn't die.
Yeah, no.
He can't die. That's not possible. Well, there's a new Patch Notes show. Me and Paul are going to be bringing you all the action from the latest patch. And then we'll go into the skins in game and have a little look. Anything special this week to look forward to?
There is one skin that the community has been wanting for a long time that is pretty exciting.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know which one this is.
Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Well, we'll go into the card art now, so we get to see it first of all. First thing to really mention, though, this is probably the final patch before Worlds, and this is more than likely the patch we're going to be playing on the World Championships at Aries Expo.
424 will be the one that we're playing
patch,
on, but this is to make sure that players have enough time to actually experience all the changes, figure out how to adjust their strategies. And so 423 is really the last balance patch. It has slight adjustments here and there, but it's not really designed to shake up anything too much. And then the 424 will be for any last minute changes that we feel are super necessary.
Okay.
So don't expect too much in 424 unless it's like super critical that we need to get it in.
Okay, well, let's go through exactly what we've got to start off with. Skins, first of all, Defiant Bellona. Is it this one?
Nope, not this one.
Nope, not this one.
But this is actually one of my favorite cards in a long time.
Is that baseball bat she's got? Oh, I like the Dead End Shield she's got there too.
This skin is incredible.
It looks really good.
It's really good.
Okay, that's some fantastic card art, first of all. We'll get to see that in game a little bit later on. Not only Bellona, we also have Abyssal Knight Aries. Is it this one?
No, not this one, but this one is also incredibly cool.
It does look really good as well. Purpley, and is that like Cthulhu on his belt or something?
I mean, it's some crazy influences.
I'll ask Chuck. He'll have some sort of idea. He was like, I wanted to do a skull, but they wouldn't let me do skulls, so I did Cthulhu's head
Chuck will probably
instead.
have a lot to say about this.
More than likely. After that, we've got Order in Chaos Hell.
This one's it.
Is this it?
This is
I
it.
didn't ask about this one. Oh. So it's like moonlight and sunlight at the same time.
No, it's the Order Titan
like
and the Chaos Titan.
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be? Okay.
Yeah. You can see like the same coloring.
You're right.
You got the gold accents, and the effects on this are really cool. They're really, really bright.
So does that mean if like in game like there's a win ratio where, Order's winning more, does that mean Order stance is going to do more damage for Hell?
No.
No.
It's not that intense.
Not only will Hell get that skin, she'll also get some mastery skins. I believe this was leaked on Twitter earlier on this week by our good man Chuck. So there's a little look at one of the card arts for that.
And we actually have 2 other gods getting mastery skins this patch.
I mean, Hell is 2 gods, right?
Okay, so 2 more after Hell.
Is there?
Yeah.
I literally only have 1 listed here, by the way.
Well, there's 2. I'll tell you what the other one is.
Oh, okay. You're going to show it us as well?
We'll show it as well.
Cool. Next up is Badlands Vulcan. Is another skin that's going to be available this patch. Oh, he does look like he's from the Badlands.
Yeah, he is awesome.
I like how he's kept good maintenance of his weaponry and equipment there. It's very shiny and sleek in an apocalypse sort of world.
Yeah, you got to make sure your equipment's ready to go. If it's like all dirty and rusted, it's not going to do much for you.
Especially when you're Vulcan, you're an engineer, you realize those things are important.
Plus the spikes. The spikes are critical.
I want to know what actually weapon he's holding there. I mean, obviously it's a version of his hammer, but looks a little bit different than that with some wheels on. And obviously, Vulcan's going to get a skin. We're also going to update the Mastery skin for Vulcan too. So there's the Mastery skin.
So he gets his updated ones. And then the other ones that are being updated is for our most recent goddess, Discordia.
Oh, okay. So they're out as well.
Yep, they will be in there as well.
Brett mentioned that to me earlier on. MLC staff, I'm going to give him the credit that he did actually say that. And I'm like, well, I've not been told that, so we'll find out if that's true or not. That's it for the skins for this week, but it's time to move on to the balance section. I'm going to start
everyone's favorite part.
Is it?
Sometimes.
Is it your favorite part?
Depends on if I get a lot of Twitter messages afterwards or not.
Okay, find out after the show whether Pompon gets a lot of likes this patch. God fixes, first of all. One this week, Vulcan. Earthshaker updated the FX to be less scary for allies of Vulcan. What?
Yeah, have you ever had
Less
a Vulcan
scary?
ult, and then it's like right on top of you, and then before you can think, you hit your Aegis, and you're like, oh, that was my friendly Vulcan, because there's not a Vulcan on the enemy team?
No, because I'm not an idiot, because I know they've not got a Vulcan on the enemy team.
There's at least like 6 clips I've seen of people doing that. Either way.
Have you done that?
No.
Oh.
I did while I was playing something else. I was watching a stream, and Thor ulted, and I immediately hit my F button to do beads as it was landing, and I completely used something that was super wasteful.
Okay, so that's for all you players out there that get scared of your own Vulcans in the game. Fixed.
Yeah, audio cues. They're important.
Fixed. And then on to item balance next. We're going to start things off with a Jade Emperor's Crown. This is going to get reduced physical protections from 60 to 50. What's the reasoning for this?
So, as we kind of touched on earlier, all these kind of item changes are targeted towards a few items that are limiting some diversity, are a bit too effective at what they do. So these are very minor adjustments. 10 protections will hit the item, but not that much. And the big thing here is it was both good at protecting against burst damage from just the base armor that it had at 60, as well as affecting characters that had really good scaling, because reducing 30 power, especially in the early and mid game, is very impactful at limiting characters with scaling potential. So we're toning back the base protection it gives and making it so that that aura is really what stands out for the item.
Okay, so it's really aura focused now, a little bit more so. Next up is going to be Gladiator Shield. We're going to reduce the protections on this item from 35 to 30.
And so similarly with the other item, it's just a slight toning down so that you're not getting as much protections as you could be getting against some burst characters. People will be able to damage you a bit more. And with Gladiator Shield, we've seen it kind of nerf since its release. And it's gotten really close to a good balance state where a few characters are actually opting not to pick it up now. There's some pretty good health there, but it was still a bit too effective on the characters it was good for. So 5 armor off to bring it more in line.
Okay. After that, we've also got a bit of a hunter adjustments here.
Yeah,
looks of it.
2 hunter adjustments.
Executioner is the next one up, and as you can see, we're going to reduce the physical power of this item from 35 to 30, so a little bit less power.
Yeah, and so this kind of hits on another change we did recently where we made it a bit more expensive as well. It's an item that's very good in a whole bunch of hunter builds, and it's kind of the core of those hunter builds, and we don't want to like suddenly shift it and move it out of those hunter builds because it's kind of the established thing, and if we were to pull it, it'd suddenly change everything about the hunter class, which is something we don't want to do right now. And so Executioner just getting a slight power reduction hurts all those builds, but it doesn't make it so that those builds are bad. Makes other options that you might want to go, like an Odibo Rush, or maybe you want to stack more power, be a bit more viable. Just bringing it more into line with the other items.
And not only that, we're going to also be looking at Devours Gauntlets this patch. That's going to get a gold adjustment. It was 2,000 gold, which was pretty damn low. It's going up to 2,100, so it's only 100 gold on top. Same sort of reasoning, really?
Yeah, so the Devours Gauntlets has gone through a whole bunch of changes over its history, and it's always been on this like razor's edge where it's not good, and then suddenly it's picked up all the time, not good, suddenly picked up. And our last change, we did a few things. We reduced the gold, we made the stacks more effective, we made it a bit more powerful, and so this one we're just bringing the gold back, so that's a bit more expensive, you pick it up slower, but we're not doing anything else to it. We don't want to do too many changes because you might just push it back over that razor's edge, back into it not being balanced. And so people can still pick it up, it's still useful, but we're only doing a slight gold adjustment here.
Okay. Next up, we move on towards some assassin items by the looks of this.
Yeah.
Or at least a Loki item to start off with. Or is it? Hydra's Lament is the first one here. Increase basic attack damage from basic attack bonus damage from 30% to 40%. 10% more. Ooh.
Yeah, so if you're weaving your basic attacks in, if you're an assassin that can do that pretty effectively, Loki is probably the prime example there. Hunbots has some good synergy, though. If he gets a crit, he can actually augment that crit. If you're one of those characters and you like to pick up this item, it's going to be more effective for you. And largely we're doing this because in the last patch we hit Titan's Bane, which did help mitigate a lot of what hunters and warriors were doing, but it did hit assassins in a pretty big way. Although they had access to more pen items because basically the whole mage tree was good for them. They still were affected by it, and so by making it so that this Hydra's Lament is a bit useful on them, we're helping those assassins out, and then our next item we're looking at the other assassins, the more ability focused ones, and giving them an item they can use to kind of bring back some power they lost from Titan's Bane.
The old classic Jotun's Wrath is what Pom was alluding to there, and that's the next one on the docket this week. It's going to have a cost reduction there as well. It was 2,450 gold. It's now going to be 2,350 gold.
Yep, and now you can fit those into your builds. If you're a cooldown assassin, you can definitely buy it now.
100 G's cheaper, still get the cooldown reduction and all the fancy stuff for that. That's it for items this week. So, like you said, we've got Season 5 coming up. We've also got the World Championships, which is the reason why a lot of people are expecting major shifts all of a sudden, which isn't really going to happen right this second.
Yeah, we're really focused on Worlds. The meta that's currently being developed and currently being experimented with, we don't want to throw another wrench into that right before Worlds, where teams have to kind of scramble to adjust.
Yeah.
We're letting the current situation kind of flesh itself out more, looking at very targeted things like warrior tankiness being a bit too high, so Gladiator Shield comes down, hunters being a bit too effective, so those items get slight tweaks. Nothing major.
And then there's still Season 5 next year. Like
Yep,
at the start of the year when we're like, okay, big changes.
So we'll have 424, which will be the World's patch, and that will be a very light on balance because we'll only be tweaking things that are like very necessary to tweak.
Sure.
And then 425 will be the one right before Worlds, and then we will have Season 5.
All right. Okay. So 2 more
Or at
patches
Worlds.
after this patch.
Don't
and
know the
then
schedule.
We're Season 5-ish.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Well, on to gods. Next up on this list for gods, we're going to start in alphabetical order, hopefully. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay, it's working. It looks good.
We did it.
It looks good. Awilix is the first one on here. Moonlight Charge. We fixed an issue where this ability went further than the targeter suggested. And we've actually increased the range of this ability from 65 to 70.
Kind of.
Kind of.
So it was listed as 65.
Right.
The cat itself went further than that and hit things further.
How far
and
did it go?
73. So if you've been playing Wheelix on Live, you've actually been using a 73 range ability. We're toning it back down to 70 and making the targeter match.
So it was a bug fix into a bonus.
It's a bug fix into a nerf, technically, because it's 3 range off that. But we're kind of accommodating for that. So the gravity surge change, which if you want to read that out.
No.
You don't want to read it out?
Do you want to read out?
I'll read it out.
Go on then.
So gravity surge is going from 70 to 75 range. The big thing here was at 73 range, you could hit someone and be out of range, and it knocks them up, and then you suddenly just can't pull them, which felt like a weird interaction. And because we didn't want to increase the range of Moonlight Charge to 75 all of a sudden and make her more powerful because she's in a pretty soft
But I mean,
spot.
it's 73 already, so we only had to give it 2 more.
We toned it down to 70 and then increased the gravity surge range to kind of accommodate for that. So now basically, if you knock someone up with Moonlight Charge, your gravity surge will pull them. Unless you're running really far away really fast. And
in which case?
Then it'll miss because you walked out of range.
Okay. That's a Wheelix. We'll move on to Camazotz next on the list. We've not seen Camazotz in a little while. Looks like he's going to get a bit of a buff this patch.
Yeah.
Increased physical power on the Screech buff from 10 to 30. He's now going to be 20 to 40. This looks like a bit of a revert from what we did previously.
Yeah, so he was a very dominant jungler for a long time. He had a lot of ability to fight people and sustain and poke aggressively. And so we did 2 nerfs, which was Vampire Bats got a nerf, pretty heavily on damage, and then Screech got a nerf on the amount of power it provided. And after that, we saw him slowly decline. And so now he's at a spot where he's actually a bit too weak now. So the nerfs are a bit too heavy, especially as things have adjusted over time. There's been a whole bunch of item adjustments. People have kind of shifted the meta a bit. And so now we want to bring some of that power back. And we feel like the power buff from Screech, especially because you have to go catch the echoes and then manage that, giving him that power back is pretty safe.
That's Camazotz. Next up is Discordia. Now, Discordia's had a bit of fun and games with her. I think a lot of people like the community seems very split on whether she's too strong or too weak.
Well, she's just a bit too strong.
Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, she overall her performance is not super crazy high. She's not like one of those release gods that just breaks everything. She is overperforming a little bit, and largely she's just dealing a bit too much player damage, especially with her Strife ability, which is what we've targeted.
All right, just keep reading them up. Yeah, 70% down to 60% on that. That's the only change for her so far, though, but she's one that we're looking at because she's new.
Yeah, and that's an ability that she casts really often because she gets it also reduced by her 3, and so this 10% nerf will go a long way over the course of a game to reducing her overall player damage.
Okay, we'll see how that works out for Discordia. Next up is Fafnir. Fafnir is going to get a bit of a nerf this patch. Yep. Well, it looks a bit Coerce is the focus. Increased cooldown from 15 seconds to 16 seconds, so that's 1 second there. But not only that, Coerce, the attack speed buff from this will now change from 10% to 50%. It's going to be 15% to 35%. So early game buff, late game nerf.
Yeah, the big thing here is Fafnir is a character who, while he's very good at the top end, and I mean SPL level, anything other than that, he doesn't do well.
Sure.
He doesn't do well anywhere else.
Does he not?
He just doesn't.
Why?
Because he's a bit difficult to use. You have to manage your 2 stances. You have to ult at the right time. You have to hit your abilities, which can be hard. It just happens.
Yep.
And the big thing here is Course is one of those abilities that when you're a coordinated 5-man team, when you can always use that Course in the most effective manner, you are going to start pushing towers, objectives, things very, very efficiently. And so Fafnir gets a boost there where in more casual scenarios, he doesn't get the perfect scenario as often.
Sure.
And so we're doing a very targeted change here to Coerce to reduce the late game potential it has. You can still use it to buff your team and get a really good push out, but the amount of power you're going to have and the ability for the enemy team to actually fight you and have the window of opportunity to fight you has been reduced. And so it's a very targeted high-level adjustment.
Next up is the Wind Snake, Kukulkan.
Yeah.
He's a snake that can move slightly quicker now. That's the change this patch. His base movement speed is going to go up by 5 from 350 to 355. What's your reasoning?
So he's a character it's largely kind of middle ground. He actually has pretty good and safe wave clear. He has pretty good ult secure on objectives. But just in general, he's been underperforming. His stats aren't displaying anything that show that he's very strong. He's actually on the lower end. And so we're just giving him a nice bump to his mobility because we don't need to buff his wave clear anymore. It's really good. We don't need to buff his damage. He actually does quite a bit of damage. His ult secure, his ult, especially with the coordinate team, you can land it pretty effectively. So we're doing something else to tweak him up a bit so that he's more in line with other mages.
Okay, so a little bit more mobility, able to escape a little
Especially
bit more.
because he's a no mobility mage.
Yep. Talking about somebody else that doesn't have feet, Medusa. She's also...
Good segue.
I know, it worked out well. I was like, I don't know I'm going to do that, but it worked. Viper Shot, increased base damage from 10 to 30. It's now going to be 15 to 35. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What?
So the big thing here is Medusa is just a character that was also not performing as well as she could have been. She had some kind of use in the early season 4, but since then she's kind of fallen off favor.
Sure.
And so we wanted to bring her up a bit, and the big thing we noticed there was her boxing potential when she actually got in one-on-one scenarios with other hunters. She was more ability focused, but she had this really good boxing stim that just wasn't good enough.
Right.
And so we've made Viper Shot, if you actually start landing it and you can land those subsequent shots, you're going to get a bit more base damage. It doesn't really affect her scaling because she's not going to be suddenly hitting way harder. We didn't increase the scaling on that ability. But the base damage there really helps her early to mid-game boxing potential. Okay.
After that, we have the raw change that Pom Pom was leaking earlier on.
Yeah, the meme was fun to make.
It really was. It didn't look. It looked silly. I'll be honest. It didn't work.
I think it worked.
I think it failed. I'll be honest. Divine Light is what's going to be changing here. We're going to increase the base damage from 60 to 220. It's now going to be 70 to 270. So early game 10, late game 50 increase on that. Ooh. Increase the magical power from this item as well. Sorry, magical power scaling, I guess that is from 40% to 55%. So 15% there. And mana cost reduced from 60 to 100, now 60 to 80. Wow.
So if you look at Kukulkan, which we talked about earlier, he's a character that had most things were going for him, but he was just a bit underwhelming, and so we looked somewhere to give him some more. Ra had a different problem, which was that his player damage as a whole was just way below all the other mages. And his performance was also not very good. And so when we look at that, we're like, okay, is there a place we can bring up damage? His 1 does it quite a lot. His 3 has a lot of utility. His ult's very potent. But the kind of play style where you use your 2 aggressively, like if someone's trying to jump on you and you're using it to peel and then burst them back with the 2-1 combo, or if you actually want to run into the enemy team because you feel like you have the advantage, we're going to reward Ra players more for doing that by giving them actually more impactful damage.
Okay, got to be a little bit more wary of that with assassins now for sure. And talking about assassins, Susanoo is the last one on the list. He's getting a bit of a buff this match. Going to be to the Wind Siphon. We've increased the base damage from 60 to 120. It's now going to be 80 to 180. So early game 20, late game 60.
So Susanoo's gone through a whole bunch of changes.
He has.
And the big thing about the changes were to reduce his frustration. He had a lot of mobility, a lot of good burst potential. He could suddenly swing a team fight really hard with his ultimate. So he kind of had everything going for him, and we toned down a lot of his mobility, focused a bit more on trying to use your damage from the passive reworked, and since then he's been just underwhelming. And so we didn't want to bring back the frustration by giving him mobility again, but Wind Siphon was doing very little damage, especially early game with only a 60 damage base ability, scaling up to 120 for a rank 5 ability. So now it's 180, so it actually has a bit more of a punch, just to give him a bit more potential to actually kill someone when he decides to engage on them by pulling them to him. But yeah, he was definitely underperforming. And also, for a lot of the gods I talked about that were underperforming, we generally base that off the stats that we have. But there's a site out there that a community member made that called SMITE GG.
Okay, yeah.
And that one's actually really interesting because they take all the rank stats and they kind of sort it. And there's some surprises that I bet if people went there and looked. But I want to give them a shout out because
is it fairly accurate? I guess
it's fairly accurate too because they're pulling directly from our API. Right. And so I just wanted to shout out to someone who took the time to code that site and actually pull from the API and compile all that stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a good look.
Good stuff. Head over there and then start posting screenshots to me on Twitter. Great.
Yeah, that'll be good. Everything goes to Hindu.
Yeah. Oh, no, Pom Pom. Prefer Pom Pom. Pom, go get ready to do skins now.
Yeah.
That's it for the item section overall. But I do have our good old friend, Mr. MLC Stealth, standing by to have a quick conversation. Look at that. The transition is beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Hindu?
I'm not too bad. What do you have to talk to me about this week?
I've got so many things to talk about. First off, did you hear Kukulkan's getting a buff? That's amazing. He's my favorite character. I could spin around in circles. I'm so happy. But I'm not going to.
Because you'll tangle the wires and then production will shout at you.
So the first thing I want to talk about, this weekend, we have a weekend event going on. You can earn an Enigma chest for getting 3 first wins of the day. That's going on all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
But how do you get 3 first wins of the day if you only get one first win of the day? That's very confusing.
You know, there's several different game modes here in this SMITE video game we have.
There is?
Yeah, you have to play all the different game modes.
Which game modes?
You know, there's Arena, there's Clash. I like Clash. Polar Bear Mike likes Siege. I heard some people play that. There's, ranked, there's duel, there's joust, there's so many.
Wow. Okay, you actually named most of them, apart from Conquest.
Apart from Conquest.
Good job, Stealth.
The one I...
You only won a world championship at that. You don't remember it? Really?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you get 3 wins on the weekend on Saturday and then 3 on Sunday. Is that possible, or is it just...
3 first wins of the day. You can do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for
Ooh.
3 Enigma chests total.
Okay. Cool. What else you got?
I'd also like to announce our winners for Shadow over her Copless Nightmare Mode.
Oh,
These are the
Nightmare
first
mode?
people to beat Nightmare Mode, which is pretty amazing.
You know them off the top of your head?
I do, actually, off the top of my head.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Show
Yeah.
me.
On PC, we have Data Remember,
Oh.
Sam for Soccer 2, and Devios. Uh-huh.
What happens to Sam for Soccer 1?
Yeah, I don't know. We're not supposed to talk about Sam for Soccer
Oh, okay.
1. And then we have, for PS4, Supreme Help, Private Ryan 22, and The Legendary 22. And then for Xbox, we have Pep Doctor, Merc 1131, and Raging Zero. I can't believe I memorized all of those
That
names.
was really impressive. Well done, Stealth.
I spent a long time looking at that list, just trying to memorize those names. What list? There's no list.
That's
I just
true.
memorized them.
That's true. And contest winners, what did they actually receive? Do you know?
They received a bunch of gems and skin codes.
Oh, they did?
Well, we haven't given them to them yet. They will receive.
Oh, so you're lying?
I'm lying.
Oh, good job, Stealth. Now you're one of us. Now
sorry.
you're getting there. You understand now what's going on.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Our third thing is
You got 3 things?
three things. Our third thing is Tier 5 Uller, Frostfire Uller releases
Yeah.
next patch with patch 424. And
Oh,
that's
so-
crazy. We've waited so long for it, and it's really cool. And actually, I
What?
think we have a video to show everybody here watching the stream. It's a Frostfire Uller video, so let's take a look.
I'm finally in my element. Game on.
Ooh, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, that was sick.
Nice little way in there. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
Oh, did you make it?
He directed that.
He probably did. And I was like, ah.
No, I was only tangentially involved in the production of that awesome video.
Gave critical feedback.
Welcome back to the desk. If you don't recognize these lovely gentlemen, whether you like them or hate them, they're here again. And they're some of the best creatives we have here on the SMITE team. It's Chuck, it's Fishman, and it's AJ. We're here to go through the skins with you today. And we've got a few skins to start things off with.
Oh, yeah.
Should
Great
we start
skins.
with
Started off.
Bellona? Let's go. Straight to the Bellona skin, hopefully. And this card out looks amazing.
Yes.
That skin overall is amazing.
I got to say, this is, I think, some of the best illustration I've seen in our card art
That smirk.
ever. Yeah,
So
that
mischievous.
smile.
It's like,
We all said the same thing when we saw it at our desk. We were just like, wow, this facial expression is just great.
Well, let's have
And
a look.
she's not even like charging into battle. She's just chilling.
Yeah.
She's
a
like, I may
badass.
have to beat your ass in a minute here.
we'll see what happens.
So she's got a baseball bat and obviously the hammer. I want to. What's the scourge? Like, what does she do for that?
Well, you're gonna see.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll
Is
see
it like barbed
Dang.
wire? I'm hoping it's barbed wire.
From that,
I guessed it. I guessed it. It's so good.
from
so
that
good at this, you
perspective, the bat looked like 20 feet tall.
It does. It actually looks massive. That
It's big. It had to be the size of the sword.
it's bigger than Hercules' bat.
She's going to beat
She
some-
carries a bigger bat than
Oh, yeah.
Hercules.
Oh, my God. It's awesome.
Wow, that's got
Hit 'em,
some range
hit 'em.
on that.
Ooh, the particles are nice, too.
Sounds like an aluminum baseball bat. You know, it
Yeah,
says
it's got a
aluminum,
nice
by the way,
ring
just
to
so
it.
you guys got it right. Yeah.
Oh, instead of
the right way,
aluminium or
it's
whatever.
And now she's got
Aluminium,
the
like
dead end shield.
Yeah, the
do
Deadman
like
shield
this.
is awesome.
The sound is nice.
It's like she just ripped the sign down. I'm like, I guess I'll just use this as a shield.
And
That
just
makes sense.
reinforced it. Yeah.
Bludgeon time?
Bludgeon time. Sledgehammer.
Nice.
Commonly available.
What exactly?
At
are you
a
advocating,
construction
Chuck?
site
Yeah.
near you.
Can we get production just to turn the game sound up
I
a
love that
slight
hit
bit
effect
for me?
too.
Just
Yeah,
go.
give me a little bit more sound.
Tame me! Stop!
Would not want to be hit by that.
I love the contracting blue swirlies. Yeah, it's interesting because the colors are so funky, but it fits. It's like funky.
Does she still use a
Funky
flag?
combat skins.
Really, we're bringing that back.
It's never gonna die.
I mean, at my house, that voice gets used so much that it's just
Psychopath.
become part of our.
Fearless Avenue and
Of our-
I
Psychopath.
like that little detail.
That's good. I actually like the fact that when she ults with it as well, you can see it in her hand as the sign goes down too.
I am the voice of
That's cool.
generation.
Oh yeah.
Really nice attention to detail. Little anarchy
Give me some
flag.
more scourging. I want to see the
The slashes.
barbed wire action right there.
Can't go wrong with a bit of barbed wire.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be that aggressive.
Very nice skin.
Well, it's got a voice pack, as always. So let's have a little listen in.
See what you sound.
Yeah! You're killing it! That was awesome! Bad girls have more fun. I will not be bossed around by you. No, I'm not gonna drink your bloody tea. Sorry for being late. I got caught up enjoying my last few minutes of not being here. Oh man, I tried to be good, but it is just so boring.
I believe that joke was a specific shot at you, Handyman.
She's not going to
I don't
drink
know why it would
your
be.
bloody
My goodness,
tea.
I don't even drink tea.
Yeah, I don't even
Maybe
drink
does
How
tea.
is
she-
that
did she
possible?
listen?
Well, I'm fostered in the States, so I don't get good tea anymore.
That's
so
true.
I'm stuck with coffee and bud. That's about it.
I don't even drink tea with blood in it.
So that's Bologna. We'll move swiftly
Learned all
along
kinds of things today.
to the Aries skin that we
Oh.
were talking about. The Abyssal Knight Aries.
I like it.
Is the next one on the list.
It's so good.
Oh yeah.
So it just have a Cthulhu feel to me, from what I can
Does
see
it?
of it. Yeah.
What gives
It's
you
strange
that?
for you to say that.
Gives you that sense.
I don't know, something to do with the shield or the belt, something along those lines kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm dead on because I'm no artist or understand of this.
Maybe it's the inclusion of monstrous tentacles.
Oh,
Around
the
the
tentacles
mouth
move
region.
Look
as
how
well.
cool that shield is,
Yes.
man.
The
The
shield
shield is
actually moving is
alive.
dope.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. It's like he's cut the head off and it's still like, going through those last moments of life.
It's kind of like Bacchus belching blood.
It is
too.
alive.
You'll see it when he does the VXG.
Oh, there's a VXG.
Yes, there is.
Oh, hey.
Give it away.
He's
Oh,
got a
that eyeball
sweet
on the sword is
Custodian
so
gauntlet.
awesome.
I do like the gauntlets too.
A lot of good details.
Very
on
nice.
this.
The helmet is really badass.
So we made the helmet, and we're like, we want to have giant horns, and we're like, oh yeah, his chains are tentacles, by the way.
Of course the tentacles. Wow.
Oh, they even have like a little bounce to them.
That's cool.
I don't always notice this, but the shadow of the tentacle shield is really dope as well.
The shadows. Shout outs to that dynamic lighting.
All right, I beg your pardon?
Yeah. You don't speak the
Excuse
old
me?
god's language?
Yeah.
I don't, unfortunately. It's been a
Well,
while.
you should
Very
study up.
nuanced. And look, tentacles come out of the shield in the evil darkness.
Oh, that's
Spray.
cool.
I didn't- Yeah, that's
Ah, that's a cool stuff. You did
Kinda
good,
getting-
Chuck.
projected by the.
Ooh, I like the tentacles all wrapping around his hand, too, when he's up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sweet.
He's separating them. Got to keep the Odin separated.
I was about to say, I thought Pond nearly missed an ult on bots then. I was like, wow.
Oh.
He just did. Good timing.
How did he do that?
Called him out for any of those.
I'm sure he's gonna like
Oh, see?
You broke that
What was
one
up with
pawn or
that?
something.
Wait, well, why are you in the jungle?
Whoa.
He broke something. It's okay.
Good stuff. It's okay.
Everything's
Let's
okay.
see the voice pack first of all before we go to the very special VG. What was it? VXG.
VXG.
We'll go to VXG later. Let's just
We'll do that at the
let's
end.
do
That's the
voice pack.
finale.
The
Embrace the evil within. Extraordinary. I am loyal to him. Time spent with me will shred your sanity and turn your brain to mush. Dying is such an easy way out.
I kind of like how the class
I hate it when I get a call from the Kraken, don't you? I have friends in deep places.
Yeah, the voice feels like a new kind of
He's
morphing
still
effect
laughing.
that we haven't
He's
used before.
fighting against it, but he's losing to the corruption.
It's
Okay.
like a deep, gurgly
Show me the VXG.
coldness.
Special
Don't
to
Google the deep gurgly.
The shield is alive.
That's awesome.
That is true.
That's really cool.
Some sweet demonic chanting.
I do love the fact that we do this mainly with like the supports get the love of these VXG so much because they're the ones that like I guess I'm just rotating around the jungle again following these idiots, so at least I can go
That's is a strange coincidence, I guess, but that's nice.
Hey,
We have
there's
been trying
a
to
lot
make
of time
them.
running around, getting into position.
I know, I appreciate it. As a
Or
support
like
player,
when you're already winning and the other team is dead, and you're
you just like go around going, oh,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
praise
that-
my shield made from evil.
That turned out really cool, the shield. I like that.
So that's Aries.
like a
We'll
character in and of
move
itself.
along to the community requested one that everyone was talking about. Then
Oh, hey,
Pom
what's
Pom
that
mentioned
one?
the Order and Chaos Hell skin.
Oh
If you
yeah,
didn't
this
know that,
idea
that's-
has been around for a while. It's finally happening.
So community, we make things that you ask us to sometimes.
Oh, no,
Sometimes.
don't-
As long as they're
see,
not
As long as they're not,
junky.
Bad ideas.
Oh, Chef Vulcan. Oh, I'm gonna get some tweets.
well, at least you did some mastery skins.
Yeah, you
this
will.
match.
Mentioning it.
Yeah, you will.
So there is the dark. Is that dark side? Yeah,
Dark side.
I can see the bottom of the screen to make sure it is dark side. And obviously, red. I'm guessing would be the darker side.
I think she's got the black armor. There is going to be some different
There's
color
darkness.
schemes here as part of the skin, but I think it'll be pretty clear.
I like kind of the throwbacks to our Titans in our headpiece there. That's
arises.
neat.
Yeah, the artist definitely spent some extra time making sure there's really clear visual elements that tied in directly to the
Yeah.
Titans.
Call outs to existing assets, tie the game together.
Although she's got 2 legs.
Oh yeah. Sorry, this isn't a half person holding
Yeah,
hands with another
exactly.
half person. That's a cool design, but didn't really work on the hell.
Well, I guess we guess best go through all the abilities too, because we've
Yeah.
got
So
9 of them.
beautiful. Yeah.
Let's throw
I
some
can't
stuff.
do math. I said 9 and 7. I mean,
Yeah. If it was a shared stance switch, kind of
Yeah.
7. Yeah. Okay. Passive.
I'm just
Two
an idiot.
passives?
Yeah.
Listen.
You're
Give me the
close.
bump.
I was an idiot. I'll admit to being an idiot. It's not often it happens.
No.
There's the
You know.
That's pretty.
cleanse,
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, that little spiraling out of her.
Spacey.
Yeah.
the space
I
spiral.
will stand
It's almost like the
beside
Milky Way shape, right? With all the
Those
arms.
are known as galaxies.
chaos.
Sure, but not all of them are shaped like the Milky Way.
It's true.
I'm ready for you.
That looks nice
there's
too.
the comeback. The bounce
Ooh,
back.
the flame transition was really cool too.
Conflict arises. Finish them.
Yeah, the transition stance is amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
like
good.
the way it kind of wipes in as the state that you're in and then kind of metamorphs to
That's
the
a really cool
what you're turning
transition.
to.
Feel my power.
There's the old slow.
Going
Doesn't hit
anywhere.
that, Odin. Slow, yep. The repulse.
Ooh.
Oh.
I just love that this segment is just us going, ooh, ah, wow.
We're watching fireworks pretty much.
Well, Hell's fun because she got so many abilities.
I guess we got 2 voice packs with her as well.
Well, it's one voice pack, but yeah, different
mean,
styles.
technically
Different
it's
styles
two.
on the
Technically
order
it's
and
two.
chaos.
I'm pretty sure it's 9.
It's the way hell skins generally work. Yeah, it's 9 voice packs.
I'll be interested though because
Got him.
normally they're like, "I'm gonna murder your face."
Yeah.
Oh, please don't do that to them.
All right, let's go.
Yaha! 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 Fantastic swordsmanship. Exemplary. I deserve some credit too. It is not death you should fear.
Whoa.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Come on, you should let loose a little. The only thing I'll let loose shouldn't be said out loud. Oh, I feel terrible. Finish them! Woohoo! You did well. Chaotic! There is no one more powerful than I! It is not death you should fear. I will bring order to this world, not if I stop you first. Chaos, split push, will you? We are attached! Oh, right. Knock knock. Who's there? Justice. Justice who? Justice is no joke.
Wow, that was interesting. She's got an audience for her own joke, which is pretty sweet.
She
That
does
makes
the
life easier.
internal knock knock joke, but then it's an anti joke in the end. It's,
Yeah,
it's the double
exactly.
curveball. Tigna's comedy.
The Tina
is
double
reaching the
curveball.
pinnacle.
Meta jokes.
Yes.
Yeah. Those hell voice packs. It's
While
like,
we're on hell,
I'm going to kill a puppy. No, we should pet a kitten.
we should have a look at the
This one's
mastery
a little
skin
more
for
subtle
hell
than that.
as
I
well,
want a
please.
stream of just Chuck doing like angry and nice old people voices.
We should just have a video of Chuck impersonating everyone's voice pack. That would be a good one.
Except they would all sound like bad Monty Python characters.
Or old
Chuck
Greg.
variety show.
So after Order and Chaos Hell, we do have the Hell Mastery skins as well, which we'll
Yeah.
get to take a look at
See,
momentarily as well.
we made them.
It's about time.
Well, they only take like 2
you
seconds,
did,
right,
you did
Chuck?
3. You did 3 in one patch.
Dispel the myth. They are more
3
time
in one
consuming
patch.
than they
Some.
seem.
They seem really easy to do, Chuck.
What
like, we
time?
did 3 this patch.
No,
We
man,
don't-
you just
I
go
can
like
take
this.
Photoshop and do a filter, change one color to another, done. Like, how long does that take
All
you?
right, so
Seriously.
Fishman is going to...
take over.
You're now on the Masteries team.
It's more complicated than that, audience.
Is
Sorry.
it?
I don't wear
is.
enough hats
Yes,
as it is.
it is. Good art takes time.
It's true. And skill.
Yes.
I can get masters
Why are
out
you
fast.
here then, Chuck?
What do you mean?
It takes skill.
Oh.
See, that was a major shot. I feel
He's
really
a pretty
bad.
skilled
See,
artist.
Chuck looks really hurt.
The
on
way
screen.
you
No,
fired it,
no,
though,
I
I was like, are
actually
you saying he
didn't
needs to
feel
get back to
anything
his
about
desk
that.
and do the work?
That's
No,
what I thought he
no.
was saying, too. I
So-
thought you were complimenting
Yeah.
him. Like, go back and make cool art instead of being here. goofing
Can't
around.
afford to
opposite.
have you on this
I
show.
don't say nice things. Like, if I did that, I wouldn't have a job.
No, I don't get to make art now. I just look at people's art.
And go, that's good.
Yeah,
And that's
or
not.
Ship it.
This art is good.
change that.
This is good art.
This
Ship
art
it.
is bad.
He just walks in with his thumbs, right? Like up and
I
down.
mean, the final test is like when they come to the patch note show, you sit here and go, that's going to get changed.
Those poor druids.
Yeah, like
So
last
the
week.
druids.
Yeah, last week. Juan's like watching the patch notes there, and he can see me typing into my phone. He's like, "Oh crap!" His
Not
email
if I
starts
say
lighting
anything
up.
about it.
All the Hellskins for you. Into the diamond version we go. They look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Job well done on the diamonds. We've still got
As
more
a
masteries
double
to go as
goddess,
well.
this is like another mastery skin. This
Yeah.
patch is like, come on.
That's true.
It's a lot of masteries.
It's 4 masteries.
Yeah, pretty much. 9 even.
Math. After the Hell one, we also have Badlands Vulcan.
Oh, yeah.
This looks dope as well. This
It
looks
is
really good.
real cool.
I love that weapon.
It's
The-
you
the
got to see it
engine hammer.
in game. The vibrating on all of his mechanics.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
He's got all these
So it's
wheels that
just a car
spin.
engine
and,
that is
yeah.
basically got on a stick. That's great.
See, that's why we come on here and just say, ooh, because like I saw early concept of this, which
Look at the
doesn't
backpack.
convey all the movement.
Go to
Just
the
exhaust.
backpack.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. It's all working.
Neat.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's live.
Vulcan's got some amazing skins
He
now.
does.
Like he's also got the I don't remember the names of the skins we call them, but
army
the
one.
army one is what I was going to use the word as. Like
Full Metal Vulcan, I believe.
that's such a good skin.
That is. Vulcan's a fun god skin. You know, he's got some cool stuff going on with his mechanics themes.
Of course, he had to get a Badlands feel to him though as well. Like like an apocalypse feel that had to happen.
He's got a.
He's got his apocalyptic
say that, sorry.
harpoon launcher.
That is sweet. I like it chilling on the tire base. The exhaust coming out when it fires.
Can't stand the heat. Starting to heat up.
And we kind of went with a blue pilot light to orange flames kind of theme on here just to get something a little different feeling. Vulcan.
I like it.
I like the noise.
So that thing is a little bit hard to see because it's the meatball, but it's got. Oh man, that explosion is real sexy. It's kind of like a gas can with spikes welded onto it and like a evil face, and then it explodes.
That is awesome.
Is that his face mask on the symbol?
I don't believe I've seen that symbol until just now.
That's the first time you've seen this.
Do it again, Pon. Closer.
closer, yeah. I think it's his
Or
face.
it's a lady meditating.
Yeah,
I saw the yoga pose,
All right.
but it's probably a face mask.
Okay, he's got a voice pack too. I'm
You guys can't see as Chuck reaches for his phone.
I put it back down.
Can we get a different pose than the
habit of
meditation pose, please? Okay, voice pack, please, Pompa.
Yahoo! You're on fire. Great. I'm the big boss. Oh, oh, oh. I'm the big boss.
Spammable. Indeed.
You can stop the blight. We leave no survivors. I've set an oil fire that looked better than you. You some kind of mutant freak? Or that just your face?
Solid jokes.
Oh, that's good at the end. I like the laugh. Okay, that's the Vulcan skin.
Looks good.
He does have... We've got still 2 more to go. Obviously, the Vulcan Mastery skin is the first thing up, so we can have a little gander at that as well. In the blue and gold, then the black and gold, and then the diamond and... Blue. I was always getting lost with that last colour. I'm like, it's diamond and something.
There's a fancier word for that blue, but for me, it's just blue.
Regal? Navy?
That's a complex material. It's not just blue. You're seeing some reflectivity
It's more
there.
of a cerulean.
I was trying to
I figured Chuck would have us like a
lapis
crayon
lazuli.
that I didn't know the name of from when I was a child.
That one I ate by mistake. It's that one.
He's got the 112 count or something at his desk, I'm sure.
It's not cornflower or persimmon. Cerulean.
Persimmon.
Persimmon's a blue?
I had the 200 pack of crayons.
Of course you did.
Not periwinkle?
Persimmon is also a color, but periwinkle is a blue.
Yeah, I thought persimmon was like an orange because like the fruit itself is.
That's true.
Diamond.
His Vulcan skin really pops on the diamond. He's got kind of a orange and blue.
Thing going on because skin
He's
is so
kind
orange.
of orange on his own,
Yeah.
Man, you don't realize how orange he is.
He's
Blue outfit on.
real
In the
orange.
diamond,
Like
it looks like
Donald
he's been
Trump
eating carrots.
orange.
He's always been orange, though.
Make
And
diamond
long,
great again.
long ago.
But when he has a black and gold outfit on by default, you don't see it.
Yeah.
But you know it's in the diamonds. Well, that's Vulcan. And
Spray tan.
He lives in a volcano or something, doesn't he? That's probably part of it.
I don't have
A
this last
volcano.
one listed, but everyone keeps saying we did Discordias as well, right?
Discordia Masteries, are
She
those in
done?
this patch?
Everyone keeps saying it. Pond said it, and then Stealth said it. So I'm like, is it?
I think so.
Is it?
Pond, have you got it?
I
got-
saw
we got it in
card
game.
art.
We
and
got
it
it.
was
Take a
card
look
art
at
was
it
still
then.
being
Let's do it.
worked on, yeah.
I mean, I
Evidently, we
saw-
do have it, yeah.
I saw them at desk.
Okay.
So
Well, we're gonna
Sounds like we
Pod's
got
gonna get it in
Discordia,
game then. I don't know
so-
where that one got like snuck in somewhere without.
I'm sure
nobody
there's some rank
confirming
10
us for some reason.
Discordias out there already. There's people that just go hard when the new guns come
How
out.
is that even possible? There's not enough days in the week to
Oh,
do
it's
that.
possible.
You just gotta stop losing
Yeah.
and play a lot.
some people
10
are in college and don't go to class. You know, it's a thing.
I remember those days. Got
Yeah, I was
so
like,
much games.
how do you think we got here?
So many games played.
Yeah, I wish I was still
Oh,
there
God.
right now.
Those
That'd
were
be
the
great.
good old days, man.
Well, I traded not enough money and too much time for not enough time. And
Well, while they're doing
Enough
Discordia,
money.
while they get the Discordia one ready, favorite thing in this patch? Oh, we don't have Discordia, is what I'm being told.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we've been lied to.
we've been pranked.
Just so you know, it was Pompon that lied to you. Nobody else here at the
I
desk
think
did.
it's still
So
in
make sure you
this
tell 'em how you
patch,
feel about
though.
that
Keep an eye out for the
on
notes.
Twitter.
Pompon said, we have it, and Pompon let you down. Yeah, go back in game and show Pompon. That's what you get.
What are we showing? Pon just.
I don't know, Pon-
Camera roving
How
on
many
a
Odins
group
did he
of
make?
Odins.
That's the way it's going to be.
All
Well,
right then.
It's a shorter show than usual just because the amount of content this week isn't like over the top like we have had previously. But favorite
These
things?
huge patches have come recently and
Well,
coming up.
there's
you
one
know,
coming up,
so,
right?
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's like season 5.
You know, I'm really
Is
happy
that,
with
is that around the
the
corner? I forgot.
yeah.
It's my favorite time of year.
Nobody's
gonna
talking
be
about it in
big.
house, so I lose track.
No?
Oh,
We
yeah.
definitely have not been working on season
Tirelessly.
5
No.
all the damn time.
No, definitely not.
So
Yes.
we haven't done tests.
Just in case you guys don't understand sarcasm, we have been working on season
Yes.
5
Oh,
very
right,
hard
yes.
all the time.
I know Hindu comes from a culture where they don't appreciate
We don't.
sarcasm.
I don't.
so.
I just it's blank. I just
Yeah.
don't get it. It just
Now
doesn't
that's a
register.
meta sarcasm joke right there.
Oh, look!
Oh,
Hey, we did get it.
Well, it's about
If you
time.
joke around long enough,
It's a
things
Christmas
work themselves
miracle.
out.
It's not Christmas yet, but yes, it is a miracle. Pompon did something right. He saved the day.
Rise above the rest.
I think
apple
Pompon just realized that he was going to get
is not
inundated
recolored.
with tweets and messages about his
Because
mistake.
her outfit is gold, but the diamond apple.
Is it a diamond apple?
I hear tell
Oh,
it was supposed to be diamond, but no, that's my
no.
bad. We're still in the gold
It's
skin.
golden.
You're too far.
He started with legendary, it threw me
know.
off,
And now she had the mastery. You have the black dress now, so you
and
can-
the stars are gold.
I like it.
Inner wing flaps.
These colors can these colors, wing.
You
flaps.
knew as soon as you said it.
Oh, I knew
was
when
like,
it was coming
that
out of
came
my
out.
mouth. I was like, this isn't great.
What is that even referring to on the skin?
I think it means how it's
wings.
separated
She
into
has
different
those-
portions.
The edges of the wings.
Yeah.
On the
In the stars inside the wings.
Oh, okay.
are gold on the gold skin, and the apple is diamond
I
on
see.
the diamond skin. Throw the
is
apple.
Is the big one diamond too?
Barry,
Oh,
those are
oh,
torments.
that's cool.
It is dark.
It turned
It's a
out well
little
in the
more
apple.
inaccurate, but I'm okay with it, I guess.
Oh, AJ.
As opposed to finger guns, which are
Especially-
totally
yeah.
in Apollo's
I mean,
lore.
there's so many things that are involved in lore accuracy in this game. Gentlemen, pleasure as always. Favorite thing in the patch, AJ?
I'd say Hellskin, it's just been on the list for so long. Glad we finally got it done. Looks great.
Fish?
That Aries was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it
with
was.
that shield. Super good.
And what about you, Chuck?
I'm
gonna be
Cthulhu
Aries, isn't
Aries, yeah.
Of course it is. It's Cthulhu. It's evil. That's what
He
Chuck
can
is all
worships his
about.
own shield
Put some
while
skulls
chanting
on there.
mysteriously.
That's all Chuck needs.
Final thing, PTS.
Soonish.
Stay tuned to our Twitter.
Okay, we've just slowly divulged away from like going, you know what, Friday, you know what, today, into, you know what, check Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure.
Like we said, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now, bro.
I just
What we
want to
don't
say
want to do
sometimes
is
we're
tell
putting
you
in a
when it will be
thing
out, and then it
and-
not be out. Then that feels bad
That's
for us
true.
and for the people who
Don't
hear
say
it,
the
so.
mastery skin's available and then not show it like Pompon tried to do to
We
us.
did show it.
He saved it in
He
the
tried
end.
to do. I clarified that.
Yeah.
With that, gentlemen, that's gentlemen here and ladies and gentlemen at home, have a wonderful rest of your evening and keep an eye on social media for when the PTS will be live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for another Patch Note Show.